In this class, we continue our discussion on the competitive factors, and our focus will turn to generic strategies, Porter's value chain, and the SWOT analysis. Let's begin with the discussion on generic strategies. With the 5 forces analysis that we did before, Porter argued that the businesses could adopt one of 3 strategies to gain competitive advantage. So the first step is to do the forces analysis, or what we call 5 forces analysis. The second step is to determine what are the ways that an organization or a firm can achieve competitive advantage. So right now we are moving to the second step. There are 3 generic strategies proposed by Porter. The first one is cost leadership. Cost leadership. This involves the business making a product of similar quality to its rivals, but at a lower cost. In other words, a firm or an organization is looking for the best or the most efficient way to produce, so it has the lowest product cost in the competitive environment, and it is normally achieved through internal efficiency. So internal efficiencies is the only way or the best way for an organization to achieve cost leadership in the market. One example of cost leadership is the big chain like McDonald's. It has a lot of outlets in the market. It is one of the biggest fast food shop in the world. The internal efficiencies or the economy of scale helps McDonald's to achieve the lowest cost as compared to its rivals. So it is one example of cost leadership. Differentiation. This strategy involves persuading customers that our product is superior to that of our rivals. So it's about the quality, about our product quality is superior to our rivals or our competitors. Differentiation will usually allow the business to charge a premium price for its product. So the focus or the unique selling point here is differentiate our product from the competitor, especially on the quality, on the premium image as well. An example in the motor industry, like if you say Toyota is the brand seeking for cost leadership because of the internal efficiencies of Toyota production line, then for differentiation it will fall into, say, Mercedes-Benz, because Mercedes-Benz produced a car with superior quality to Toyota, with better engine, with better quality of leather in the cars or better design. The customer perceive the quality of a Mercedes-Benz is better than a Toyota. So therefore, differentiation would allow Mercedes to charge a premium price as compared to Toyota for its motor or for its car. And the third generic strategy here is focus. This involves aiming at a segment of the market rather than the market as a whole. So it just focuses on a particular segment. The business will provide products or services that are tailored to a particular group's needs. One example, say, is a Scania. It's a brand for trucks, and it only produces trucks not in the passenger cars. So for Scania, it's focused on a particular segment of motor markets, not cover all of them. And it produced the high quality trucks for the commercial use, and it's just tailor-made to a particular group's needs because it only focuses on commercial trucks or commercial vehicles. So here is the focus strategy. And after the 5 forces analysis, a firm or an organization needs to consider which strategy here, no matter it's cost leadership, differentiation, or focus, is the best for the organization to go in the future. So here we discuss about the cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. And Porter also argued if an organization failed to do it, fail to determine what strategy, then it's just stuck in the middle. It means that it has no cost leadership advantage and the product cannot be differentiated with its competitors, and no focus, then it's just stuck in the middle, which is not an ideal situation for firms to compete in the market. So after talking on the generic strategies, now move on to the Porter's value chain. Porter's value chain is the final step in a firm's external analysis of the competition within industry. Porter developed his value chain to determine whether and how a firm's activities contribute towards its competitive advantage. So here we talk about a firm's activities, a firm itself. We discuss about the 5 forces is about the competition environment, about the market, about your customers, your suppliers, any substitute of your products, your entrance, new entrance, whether is any barriers to the new entrance, and the rivalry competition and the industry environment. And then move on to the generic strategies, and now move to next step, which is the final step. It's about the firm itself. The firm's activities contribute towards its competitive advantage. And this approach involves breaking the firm down into 5 primary and 4 support activities. So you have 9 elements, and which 5 of them we call primary activities, and 4 of them are support activities. And then looking at each to see if they give a cost advantage or quality advantage. So when we look into those activities, 5 primary activities and 4 support activities, and then we will see whether they provide a cost advantage or quality advantage. So let's have overall picture or concept of what is the Porter's value chain here. As mentioned, there are 5 primary activities, which are inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, service. So there are 5 primary activities in which they are the core of a company or a firm. And then there are 4 support activities here, in which there are firm infrastructure, there are human resources management, technology development, and procurement. All these activities, no matter support activities, primary activities, they are work well with each other and to contribute the margin for a firm. In other words, if all these activities are performing good or even excellent, it helps the company or the firm to have margin or improve their margin if they're doing better. So Porter's value chain focus on these activities and then to see how these activities work well with each other. Can they provide a cost advantage or quality advantage, and then to contribute the margin to a firm. So here is the basic concept of Porter's value chain. So now let's discuss about the primary activities. For primary activities, we have inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, service. So let's go through them one by one. For inbound logistics, it's about receiving, storing, and handling raw materials inputs. Example is like a just-in-time stock system could give a cost advantage. So in other words, a good inbound logistics, you have a very good inventory system to manage receiving, storing, and handling materials in your warehouse. Then it can help to give you the cost advantage. Next, operations. Transformation of the raw materials into finished goods and services is called operations. For operations, an example is using skilled craftspeople could give a quality advantage. As mentioned, no matter it's a cost advantage or quality advantage, those are the activities or there's the contribution of those activities to the margin of a firm. Next, outbound logistics. It's about storing, distributing, and delivering finished goods to customers. It's not the same as inbound logistics. Okay, it's just an outbound logistics to serve your customer, how your customer feel or experience from purchasing from you. So for some company, they would like to outsource the deliveries to a third-party company that can help to give a cost advantage. But in other words, the people should be careful on outsourcing because the quality control is another concern. But in general, if you have a good partner for delivery service that is outsourced the service to them, then it can give the cost advantage in general. And fourth primary activities is marketing and sales, like doing market research or 4Ps. 4Ps means place, promotion, price, and products. They are 4Ps under the marketing mix. Okay, so here the market research plus 4Ps are under marketing and sales primary activities. Example of marketing and sales activities here, like sponsorship of a sports celebrity could enhance the image of the product. Like some sportswear, they would like to invite a very popular sports star as their key opinion leader to sell their products, and it could enhance the image of the products. The last element under primary activities is service. All activities that occur after the point of sale, such as installation, training, repair, are classified as service. So it's even after the sale, you provide the so-called post-sale service to your customer, then it also helps to improve your margin in future. One example here is like a big store in United Kingdom, the Marks and Spencer's. Its friendly approach to returns gives it a perceived quality advantage because it has some promise to the customer to return their goods to Marks and Spencer in a certain day or in a certain period of time. It provides confidence to the customer to buy the goods from here, and it perceived the quality is much better. So Marks and Spencer can give this promise to its customer. And now, let's talk about the support activities. is also known as secondary activities, including firm infrastructure, human resources management, technology development, and procurement. So we start to discuss firm infrastructure, how the firm is organized, like the departments, how they organize with each other, whether they are centralized or decentralized. One example is like centralized buying. It could result in cost savings due to the bulk discounts. So if, for example, if a firm would have a lot of shops or outlets in a country, from south to north, from east to west, then if the buying function is centralized, so the firm has higher bargaining power with the supplier for a bulk discount. Otherwise, the shops on the east side, they just purchase their goods by themselves, and for the shops on the west side, they just do it by themselves. Then they cannot enjoy a bulk discount because it's a decentralized buying function. Next, technology development. It's about how the firm uses technology. The latest development in the IT or computer-controlled machinery gives greater flexibility to tailor products to individual customers' specifications. It is one example. So we can see how the technology development can help an organization to improve the efficiency as well as the margin or profitability. Next, human resources development is about how people contribute to competitive advantage. An example is a firm is employing expert buyers. It could enable a supermarket to purchase better wines than competitors because we have the expert and the talent to help buying the goods from the suppliers that can help us, like in this case, help the company to have a competitive advantage over others. It's about the talent development as well. So if you have the good people in your company or in your organization, you have the competitive advantage over your competitors. And the last element here under support activities is procurement. Procurement, the description of it is about purchasing, but not just limited to materials. So procurement, an example on procurement is buying a building out of town could give a cost advantage over high street competitors. So it's about where is your shop or office located. If it is out of town, then you have the cost advantage under this case. And after discussion of the primary activities and the secondary activities, now you can see the Porter's value chain, the overall picture, and it can now be used to explain how different departments contribute to competitiveness as below. We have different departments. We discussed about the purchasing department, we discussed about the production, marketing, and service, and how these departments contribute to competitiveness. Say in cost advantage, in purchasing, it can help to source cheaper materials, or with bulk discounts, centralized buying. So in other words, it's about the function, about the firm structure as well, because when the purchasing department is the central department, then it can give you the cost advantage as listed here. And also purchasing department, its function should ensure the quality. And if we have the good people in the purchasing team or department, it can source higher quality materials with lower price, and it can also employ expert buyers to help the company. And for production department, how can it contribute to the competitiveness of a firm, like mass production lines, standardization, keeping stocks low level. So it's about the cost advantage, and it is also linked up with other elements like procurement, like firm infrastructure as well, or even for human resources, because for production it's about the people, it's about the materials purchased, and all these combined to production. How can it achieve cost advantage? And for quality advantage, production departments can have a better skills to produce better quality materials with high quality control procedures and employing highly skilled staff. So here is the quality advantage on the production. And for marketing department, a good marketing team can have some cost advantage as well, like to do the word of mouth promotion, sell direct to cut distribution costs. So marketing team can help to do some cost savings or advantage to a firm in order to improve its competitiveness. For the quality advantage, marketing departments can have the large promotional budgets in order to have better marketing campaign, sponsorship, perceived quality pricing, and brand development. Service is about the post-sale activities. So for post-sale activities, sometimes there's no service, not offering any service provision after sale. It can save cost, but on the other hand, it can hurt the company because the quality perceived may not be so good, and also the service can also hire the low-paid staff in order to achieve the cost advantage. On the other hand, the quality advantage is highly skilled staff. As I mentioned before, for the Porter's value chain, it's not just a chart separating the primary activities and support activities. It's about the network, about the coordination. So here is talking about the value networks. Value networks refers to a set of connections between organizations and individuals in interacting with each other to benefit the entire group. So no matter for primary activities, it's under operations or inbound logistics, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, service, all should interact with each other within the primary activities so they can benefit to the entire group. It's not just the primary activities. For operations, for marketing and sales, they should also interact with the human resources department, with the procurement department as well. Although the procurement department and human resources departments are supporting activity or supporting function, they are still benefits to the entire group, given they provide the best service to other stakeholders within the group. So here is about the value network, and it will allow members to share information as well as buy and sell products. So we talked through the competitive analysis based on 5 forces analysis, based on the generic strategy discussion, and also we share the Porter's value chain. All these are under the Porter's framework to analyze the competitive or the competitiveness of a firm. And now let's move on to discuss another topic also relevant to the competitive factors, which is SWOT analysis. For SWOT analysis, it can be examined in 4 areas, as named strength, S. So it's about the strengths of a firm or an organization, and then its weakness or weaknesses, W, and then its opportunities, O, and threats. So there are 4 elements under SWOT analysis. namely strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of an organization. So here we talk about an organization's 4 areas or 4 aspects. And SWOT analysis is an integral part of strategic analysis. Unlike pastel analysis, which focuses on external environmental issues. So to remind you, pastel analysis is seldom talk about internal issues. It's talking about external issues like the political environment, like the economic environment, social environments, technological environments, environmental environments, and legal environments. Okay, it's about external. But for SWOT analysis, it's used to view the internal and external situation that an organization finds itself in. So in other words, SWOT analysis like a complement to pastel analysis as well, because it's not just look at the external factors, it also look at the internal factors. A very important definition of SWOT analysis is you have to be clear of which elements are internal and which elements are external. For strengths and weaknesses, S and W here, they examine what an organization internally does. So they look at the organization itself, well or badly, while opportunities, O, and threats, T, look at positive and negative factors that might impact on the organization externally. So in other words, for S and W, strengths and weaknesses, they are internal situation or internal factors. And for opportunities and threats, O and T, they are external factors affecting organization. So let's move down to have a brief introduction of SWOT analysis by each element. The first, strength, or S. It means that the things we are doing well is about we, the organization. We are doing well. The things we are doing that the competition are not. So we are superior to competition or to the competitor. And S also means major successes of our organization. So we are about we. And for W with the weaknesses, it's the things we are doing badly. It's the things we are not doing but we should be. And major failures. So it's like the opposite of strengths. But also the focus is on our organization. And then move on to O, opportunities. It's the events or changes in the external environment that can be exploited. That means there's something happened outside the organization, maybe in the market, and those events or changes may be benefit to our organization, and so that we can exploit any opportunities outside. And opportunities also mean things likely to go well in the future. One example is like environmental friendly is a hot topic in recent years, and for a environmental organization, the products they sell is about how to protect the environment. Then there's an opportunity outside because the firm is producing the goods meets the trend in the market. So it's not about internal, it's about the overall market that the firm can be benefit. And threats, T, is about the events or changes in the external environment we need to protect ourselves from. So it's not about our self-issue, it's about the trend. things likely to go badly in the future. One example is like the fossil fuel or the oil industry. The oil industry right now is not welcomed by many governments in the world because it is not good to the environment, and a lot of the oil company is struggling, and they need to find a way out how to protect themselves from this change in the environmental protection and overall environment. So they have to change their product, or they have to change their focus. They move from oil industry maybe to other industry that is more environmental friendly. So based on SWOT analysis, we have the strengths analysis, weaknesses analysis, opportunity analysis, and also threat analysis. The management need to consider two things. First, matching strengths to opportunities, because it's our strengths and opportunities is outside our organization, is external. So how to match the strengths and opportunities, and it can highlight new areas for an organization to develop. That means if there's an outside opportunities, we can see the opportunities outside and to see whether our organization have the strength to do it or to grab the opportunity. If yes, then go for it, and the company can enjoy a growth or development in that particular area. On the other hand, the management need to consider is about the weaknesses. They need to find the ways to remove weaknesses in an organization, because it's the internal issue. They need to remove those weaknesses, or they need to deal with the threats the organization faces. The threats is outside environment, and for the organization itself, it has no issue, like no weaknesses, for example, but the threats outside the organization will affect you or affect the organization in future. Like oil industry, a lot of oil companies, they are very strong, they have very good financials, they have a lot of cash, they have no issue in the financial performance, they have very good organization structure because they are well developed. But the threat is coming from the environmental friendly world, or many governments in the world, they don't like the oil industry, or they don't like the oil companies because they think oil company is harming to the environment. So the threats is coming outside, and a lot of oil companies will need to think, or that their management need to think and solve these threats. Maybe switch their products from oil products maybe to other products that is more environmental friendly, or they change their production to an environmental friendly process in order to achieve the government's regulations or standards. So here is those management need to consider how to remove weaknesses and deal with the threats. So here we discuss some in-class questions for you to have better understanding of what we discussed in this class. The first question is about Company F. Company F makes motor vehicles, and the cars are similar to those created by F's rivals, but F has managed to achieve significant economies of scale by bulk buying its material from one main supplier. This has enabled F to see its cars more cheaply than its competitors. So, which of the following strategies has F adopted? Is it cost leadership? Is it differentiation? Is it focus? Or no strategy, just stuck in the middle? So here are four strategies, or four generic strategies that proposed by Porter. If you have a good memory, then you should remember we discussed three of them: cost, leadership, differentiation, and focus. So after the discussion on cost, leadership, differentiation, and focus, those generic strategies, I think you can answer this question. And next in-class question is E Limited. E Limited is a company that buys, cleans, and then sells vegetables. Okay. It has recently introduced a new automated inventory system. So a new inventory system, and what the system can help. It allows management to identify older stock or older inventory quickly. This will allow the company to reduce its currently high level of wastage. So it improves the efficiency, right? Here it reduce the high level of wastage. And which activity within each value chain will the new system improve? Is it operations, outbound logistics, inbound logistics, or procurement? And remember, here is the Porter's value chain we discussed. There are primary activities and support activities, and the options here is about the procurement. Option D, inbound logistics. Option C, outbound logistics. Option B, and operations, option A. So for these questions, we discussed about inventory system in this class as well. So I think you can answer this question if you remember what we discussed before. And the last in-class question here is a company attempts to analyze its competitive environment, and which of the following models would be most appropriate for it to use? Is it SWOT analysis? Is it PEST or pastel analysis that we discussed? Or is it 5 forces analysis or Porter's value chain? And the key word here in the question is competitive environment. So it's about a competitive analysis. And based on our discussion, there are 5 steps proposed by Porter's framework. So 5 steps here we just put on the screen here, including the main competitive forces in the industry. First step. Second step is the different ways a firm can achieve a competitive advantage. And third is how different activities and departments within the firm contribute to its competitiveness. So I do believe that the question here, the answer, is what we discussed in the class. So you can pick the correct answer based on our discussion in this class.